Hello everyone, it's Nancy Amato, the Be More Stamper. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm excited to participate in this video blog hop here this week. So come on in and let's get stamping. So our theme this time is seasons, and one of my favorite seasons is spring, just because everything gets green again and the flowers start blooming. So this is what we're going to do today to reflect that favorite season. Now, here's the card we're going to make. And I wanted to tell you that I was really struggling with trying to come up with an idea. So I want you to know that you can always look inside of your catalog for ideas. So I kind of saw this one and thought, oh, that's kind of cute. But then I liked this one up here because it said have a lovely and then day. So we're going to kind of combine the two here to come up with our card today. So let's get started. Let me move this to the side. Alrighty, the new bundle we're using is called Sweet Blooms. It is in our new annual catalog. So this is the bundle we are using. We will also use some of these really gorgeous in color, the 2025-2027 in color flat pearls. Okay, I'm going to put those to the side. And here are the pieces of paper we're going to need for this card. So let me pull all of those over here. Okay, we have Darling Duckling. This is one of our new in colors this year. I love it. I love yellow. I know, I'm crazy. Not many people like yellow, but I just love it. So this piece is 8.5 by 5.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. Okay, that is our Darling Duckling. The Timid Tiger, we used a piece of 3 by 4 to die cut this word, and I went ahead and did this already for us. And then we need another little piece that's 3/4 of an inch by 4, and that's just going to decorate the inside panel of our card. Let me show you right here. Okay, that's what that piece is for. The basic white, we're going to need a piece that is 4 by 5 1/4. This is for the inside of our card. And then a piece 3 inches by 4 inches to die cut the word bubble. And then the leftover pieces of this you can use to do our little teeny tiny, here they are, they were hiding underneath there, our teeny tiny word pieces right here and right here. These are both a 1/2 inch wide. This top one is 1 inch for the word day. The bottom one is 1.5 inch for the have a. Okay, so that is right over there. And then the Florals in Bloom Designer Series paper. Oh my word. This is beautiful, beautiful paper, and it features some of our new in colors for 2025-2027. So we need a piece cut at 4 by 5.5, and then there is a score line right here at the 3 inch mark. Okay. And then this other little piece happened to be left over, so that's how we're using this to decorate the inside of our card as well. This is just a 1/2 inch by 4. Alrighty, so those are the measurements of the items that we are using. I am going to tuck all of these back over here real fast. And then, of course, a basic white envelope. And there we are. I'll put that over to the side. Let me grab one of those because I forgot to put that in our stack here. Alrighty. So let's get started. I learned this trick online, and I apologize. I cannot remember who I saw it from. So if it was you, please comment below so that I can give you credit. okay? We are going to glue this lovely, lovely here in Timid Tiger on top of the white bubble, okay? So the way we're going to do that is just to use a silicone brush. Now, I found these at my local dollar store, and I didn't really care about the quality because wait till you see what I'm going to do to it. Alrighty, we're going to grab our snips here. I do not need this much of the length on this silicone brush. So I am just going to kind of give it a haircut. So I'm just going to hold it like this and cut all these little things off, just leaving about 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so now it's a short brush and you have all of these things you're just going to toss right in your little trash can. Hang on, this guy's sticking up a little bit. He needs to be trimmed. Alrighty. So now what we have is just kind of like a firm silicone brush because the length of those little bristles is so much shorter. Okay, we're going to take some of our multi-purpose liquid glue here, and I have my silicone mat sitting here. I'm going to put some multi-purpose liquid glue at the top. I'm not going to need that much, to be honest with you. Just a little line will do. Okay, I'm going to flip this over to the back side, and now I'm just going to use these bristles to apply the glue. Okay, I might need a little bit more than I put down there initially. There we go. That should more than do us. Okay, so I'm just going to pounce this glue on here with this little silicone brush that I have given a haircut to. All right, so now we have that glue pretty evenly distributed all over the back of this die cut. I'm going to slide over the bubble. Now I can lift this up and then carefully lay it right down on the bubble. Easier said than done when I'm making a video, right? Is anyone else like that? Oh my word. I can do it very easily and perfectly if I'm just doing it by myself, but as soon as I hit that record button, everything goes berserk. Alrighty, so there we go. Slide this over onto the bubble. I should have had my reverse tweezers. That would have been helpful. Alrighty, and now I'm just going to slide this over onto the bubble where I want it to be. And then just that little bit of glue that we used will adhere that. I like doing this much better than using the adhesive sheets because the liquid glue gives me a little time to move it around, okay? And when you're finished, you can either just pull the glue right off of there when it's dried or just run it under your sink with some warm water. And, you know, same thing with your silicone mat. You can usually pull this glue right off or just run it under your sink with some warm water and you are good to go the next time. Alrighty, that is good. So I'm going to just sit this over here to the side just to dry. While we're waiting for that, let's do our stamping. So I'm going to need my envelope and my 2 little pieces here. And because these are photopolymer stamps, I am going to bring in a foam mat. All right, so we're going to decorate the outside of the envelope with these little leaves here. And this is Shy Shamrock ink. And I pulled that ink right off of the back of the designer series paper because it lists every color that is used, which I love. It takes out all the guesswork. All right, so we have our little leaves and stems done here. Now I'm going to open up Darling Duckling and just ink up these blossoms. And the beauty of photopolymer stamps is that you can see right through them. So it makes lining them up so much easier. Okay, there we go. We are finished with that part. That just looks so cute. Now we're gonna open up our Timid Tiger ink. Let me slide these guys over because we're finished with them. And I just want to do the hello on the front of the envelope here. I always like to try to decorate my envelopes in some way. I always joke around, no naked envelopes, right? Okay, so there's our envelope. Let me put this over to the side and we're finished with hello. And now let's bring in our two little strips here. Our smallest one is going to be for the word day. So let me get my, hopefully my head wasn't in there too much. There's day. And then here's have a. Okay. That's kind of straight, hopefully. I'm not looking directly over top of it because I don't want my head in the shot. There we are. All right, so we're finished with all of our stamping. We can put that to the side. All righty, let's bring in our card base, okay? And our front piece of designer series paper. Now we have this score line right here at the 3-inch mark. So I'm gonna just bring over my bone folder, fold that back, and oh, my measurement is a little bit off. I think before I did this at, I did this at 3 1/4 before, didn't I? Oh my, this is how we roll here. Well, we're gonna go with it, right? We're just gonna do it. It'll just be a little bit skinnier on this one. It will be fine. I will have to make a note of that. Oh, Lordy. Lordy, Lordy. Just when I think I'm actually getting the video done in time, I am not even doing it with the right measurement. I'm telling you, hey, you know what? We can cover that up. So let's bring this up. Let me grab my score blade here. So I did it at 3. I think it should be 3 1/4 because we're going to fold that over, so we're not going to even see it anyway. All right, let's give that a whirl. Oh, yay. Yep, that looks like the right distance right there. It's always real stamping when you watch me. It's never slick, perfect stamping, but hey, you know what? That's how it goes. All right, so we are going to just put some adhesive right inside here, and I like the Tombow multi-purpose green glue. We call it green glue because it's in a green bottle. All right, so we're putting that down. That worked out perfectly. We're not going to see that extra score line because this is going to be to the back of the card base, right? There we go. All right, so now we're going to put this on the front. And again, I like using this liquid glue because it gives me time to wiggle it into the position that I want it to be in. Because I've found as I've gotten older, my fingers don't always work like I want them to. So it gives me a little extra time to kind of push this over where I really intended it to be. Okay, so that is our front. Let's bring in our piece of basic white. This is going to be on our inside of our card. But first we're going to layer these two together just as an extra little something something. So I'm just going to put a thin line of glue down the middle there. Now, with this paper, you could choose to either have the flowers showing or those little speckles showing. So totally up to you, because we're seeing both sides of this paper on the front of the card because of that fold, right? So I'm going to just go with the flowers because I'm going with a springtime theme. Okay, so there we have that. And now I'm going to put this on the inside, just a little bit above the bottom. I think that always looks nice to have a little bit of the white peeking through. Okay. All right. And again, just a thin line all the way around all four sides. You don't want to put too much on because sometimes you can kind of see the liquid glue through basic white if you have it going on too thick. I like to put it on really thin and then really push it down hard so that it distributes evenly. Okay. I find that this liquid glue holds much better, especially in the humid weather that we have here in Baltimore when it is spring and summertime. Alrighty, let's flip this over. And now we're going to need some mini dimensionals. Let me pull those out of my drawer here. We are going to put some mini dimensionals on the back side of this die cut. And I love these little mini guys because they will really fit well on these really skinny little word die cuts. All right, we'll put one up there. And I think I can squeeze, oh, I might have to cut that one in half. You know, it's a tight fit when you have to cut a mini dimensional in half, right? There, we'll put one there. And we'll put the other one right here, okay? So now we're gonna pull off those little tiny pieces of wax paper and throw those to the side. Or if you have your little waste bucket handy, put them right in there then. I'm a messy crafter, so I very rarely have it right next to me. And then we are going to put this right here. Okay. This looks nice. And now we're going to put our have a and then lovely day right here. I have also seen some people putting the day right over top of the lower part of the Y. I like it over here because then that leaves me that room to add some jewels. So I'm going to put just regular size dimensionals on the back of here. And 2 will definitely do it. 1 would even probably do it for this guy. Alrighty, so we have a right here, lovely. And then we're going to put our day right here. Okay. Oh my gosh, that is so gorgeous. And the best thing about it is I'm just copying right from the catalog, right? All right, let's bring in some of our new jewels. And these, again, are the 2025-2027 in color flat pearls. These are beautiful. They do have like a pearlescent sheen to them. So I'm going to use one of each of the Darling Duckling sizes. They're like a small, a medium, and then a large. Okay, so I'm going to put the large right here in the loop of my Y. And I always like to use 3s when it comes to embellishments. It just is more pleasing to the eye. Okay, and then my medium one, I'm going to just pick that up. There are glue dots on the back of them. I'm going to put that one right there. And then my teeny tiny small one I'm going to put up here. Okay. So that is kind of giving your eye that little triangle to go all around the greeting on the front of that card. Okay. That is it. That was a quick and easy one. I just think it is so cute. There we go. And then here's the envelope. What do you think? Leave me a comment below if you like this idea. And I love copying off of the samples in the new annual catalog and all the mini catalogs as well. I mean, Stampin' Up! Pays those graphic designers, you know, very well to come up with these great ideas for us so that when we're in a pinch and we need to get a card done in a hurry, we can just look there and figure it out, right? Use their ideas. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you again next month. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.